So we are continuing our Not Home for the Holidays. And while I was looking through the missing person cases, I ran across Chaunti Bryla. Now, 2 weeks prior to Chaunti's disappearance, she had kicked out Marvin Bailey. Marvin is the half-brother to Chaunti's 10-year-old son. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a backstory on Marvin. He had been released from prison in February, and he needed a place to stay. And Chaunti, she took him in. No good deed goes unpunished, right? A little over a month. Less than, I guess what? A month and like 2 weeks maybe? On March 14th, 2019, no one had seen or heard from Chaunti. Whatever was going on in that apartment, it wasn't good. Chaunti had even gotten into a fight with Marvin's girlfriend, so she was like, you have to go. I don't know if Marvin's girlfriend was staying there as well, but anyway, she told Marvin that he had to go. Now, I don't know if Marvin had another place to stay, because once you are paroled out, there's certain stipulations that you have to follow. They have to make sure that you can stay at a place where there's no other, parolees at. You have to go through certain things to make sure that you can stay there. And the parole officer will even come to that house to make sure the situations are still good. So Chaunti volunteered. Again, this is her son's brother, older brother. So she thought, maybe probably would be a good idea for him to have, a brother in the home. I'm just assuming. Now, Chaunti, she had been with her aunt on March 15th, the day before she goes missing. Her aunt had dropped her off at home, and on March 14th, Chaunti, she has a regular cab driver that picks her up, and she went to like a liquor store that day. She used her ATM card for whatever she purchased there. On March 15th, now Marvin is using her ATM card. Now, she had already put him out, told him to go. So I don't think that she would have gave this man her ATM card. He's caught on CCC footage using it. He makes 2 withdrawals of $201 each. So he took $402 from her bank account. Then he goes to Walmart and he purchases a large blue bin. Then he purchases a dolly, one of those hand trucks with straps. He's later seen carrying this to Chaunti's apartment with an unnamed companion. So now we see him dragging this bin into his green truck, and we already know that more than likely Chaunti's inside that bin. Marvin and the unnamed companion have stopped, and they got food, compliments of Chaunti's ATM card. Now, Marvin and the companion were briefly detained on police cam. I don't know why, if they were speeding or if something was wrong with the car. I don't know, but they were briefly detained. And they actually said on this police cam footage that they were going to Home Depot to get a chainsaw. The truck was not searched because there was no need to at this random stop. Now, on March 17th, a Lyft driver picked Marvin and that unnamed companion up from the South Shore Apartments and drove them to King's Inn on 128th Street and Ashland Avenue. Now they are struggling with this blue bin. The Lyft driver says it had to be at least 100 pounds inside that bin. They would struggle some more because the elevator wasn't working at King's Inn and they had to use the steps. So it's several days later, and the manager recalls smelling cleaning solution coming from that room. Now, I wonder if there was did anybody hear this chainsaw? A chainsaw is loud. And in a hotel room? Because come on now. We can't be, naive about this situation. We know he used this hotel room to dismember this woman. We know that he did. And 3 days later at 4 a.m., Marvin was seen again on CCTV footage dumping the bin in an alley behind the Advanced Auto Parts store. That was the same day that Chaunti's aunt reported her missing. There had been no movements on her card anymore. There had been no updates on her social media. So they knew something was wrong, and she didn't call her aunt. And it seems that she was in communication with her aunt a lot. Police did recover that bin, and Chaunti's DNA was inside. They used a toothbrush to get Chaunti's DNA. The room at King's Inn had Chaunti's DNA in it as well, and a penny with human blood on it was found in Marvin's truck, and more than likely it was Chaunti's blood. Landfills and dumpsters were searched, and they could not recover any of Chaunti's remains. Now, at this time, when Marvin was out on parole, he was out for hitting his girlfriend with a hammer and then setting her on fire. I don't know how long he was in jail, but he was released after that. So now Marvin Bailey, he's back in jail and charged with the murder of Chaunti. And it's horrible. And I normally cover up pictures of children, but this is her son. This is Chad when he was around 10 or 11, holding his mother's missing flyer. He has her whole entire face. And it's just so sad that they know that she is no longer here, but they have no remains to give her a proper burial because we pretty much know what he has done. I don't know if he has come forth since then and say, what he's done with it. I have no idea, but we know that Chaunti Bryla is not here. Just a sad, tragic story. My condolences for everybody that loved and cared about Chaunti. Most definitely my condolences to her son. Rest in peace.